camera, but like we literally just had a Pro Tour match where in the top 4 a player moved to combat before activating their or playing their land out, and then their Hazoret couldn't attack, and it literally cost them a game in a Pro Tour top 8 match. So like mistakes happen at every level of Magic. I genuinely have no idea, Salt Pork Express, so Twitch username sometimes. I don't really have a good metric to measure that type of thing. We probably can't beat burn with this deck, huh? Like spell-based burn? Can this deck ever beat burn? We have some Nourishes and some Hydroblasts. If I ever considered podcasting, I have, but it's just so much work to get set up with. And like the amount of effort I would have to put into podcasting, like I could just spend that time streaming, and streaming already makes me money. Well, I mean, streaming Magic Online isn't a good metric for like how good. Nivik, you paid for the league. This is your deck. Do you want me to play against Burn? I'll play this out against Burn if you want me to, but I'm pretty sure this is pretty close to unwinnable. You should always take whenever someone's streaming, especially if they're trying to be competitive, with kind of a grain of salt, because like even good players, especially if they're newer to streaming, they're probably going to lose up to like 20% off their match win rate, especially if they have people in their chat and they're trying to interact with their chat. Like the best way I can describe streaming is think about playing a match of Magic and trying to do your best in it while also doing 2 or 3 other things at the same time. A Bamonte Project podcast. All right, let's find a deck that wants to win by attacking us with creatures, ideally. And like, I don't think people like, especially if you're testing for a tournament, like I'm going to be testing for Louisville coming up, so I'm probably going to be playing some of the harder matches with some of the decks I'm considering playing at the Open. But like, I can't tell you the number of people I see streaming who like they're deterministically dead to Storm and they're sitting there making their opponent click through their Storm combo. Like I almost always turn a stream off when I see someone doing that. It's like, come on, dude, you're dead. Can we just like move on and see some more relevant content? We can probably beat blue-black control, actually. If we can stick Jace's Erasure, that's probably an okay matchup. Because like my goal while streaming isn't to eke out every, and this is part of why I've taken to playing friendly leagues on modern, on the modern side too, where we have friendly and competitive, because like my goal isn't to eke out every last moto fun point and ticket, right? It's to produce the highest volume of like reasonable content, and by conceding who said blue-black control? Who said blue-black control? This is your fault. You did this, chat. Well, remember, if you can't stay to see eggs later tonight, it will go up on YouTube. I'm pretty sure we're just aggressively looking for the Jace's Erasure at this point. Respite. Fog gains some health. That's they're not blue-black control. They're Delve aggro. Okay, that's probably much better for us actually. Did anything in particular make you stop playing Hex? Hex's general lack of support for their constructed formats, aside from anything other than their weekend and scheduled tournaments, is the big reason I stopped playing Hex. Hex never made a lot of money streaming, right? Like, I was streaming Hex as a hobby. I had a small number of subs, but even some of those are just like Magic hangovers, basically. People that watch me on the Magic side. And I just not being able to play like Saturday tournaments. They're just like, there was no way for me to play constructed. Their Immortal format looked sweet, but they didn't support it almost at all, so I couldn't play that. Basically their constructed format got expensive and they didn't support it. Did they just thought scour me? They totally just thought, read Jace's Erasure, thought scour. I like the cut of your jib, opponent. Your jib is cut in a reasonable direction. That's a good line. I appreciate you staying on, Jin, but I would understand if you stopped subscribing because I'm not doing Hex content anymore. I've sold all of the Hex cards that I had bought for whatever tiny amount of money I could get for them, and yeah. Actually, it's funny. The ridiculously small conversion rate trying to cash out of Hex actually is what partly encouraged me to try Hearthstone, just because, like, I like the idea of a TCG in theory, but like being a TCG, like, honest, oh, they're a Reanimator deck. Okay, neat. 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 All right. It's a 5/5, sure. Yeah, and like you're just recording, right? You're not even reading a chat or doing anything else while you're doing it. You're just trying to play Magic and talk. Oh no, not another counterspell. What a tilt. We really need to get an Erasure down. It's kind of a beating that we've lost 2 Erasures already. At least we don't have to play out around any traditional reach out of their deck, most likely. We can just use our health total as a resource pretty aggressively here. Just okay, they didn't. They have Delver Reanimator. Neat. Delver Reanimator. Survey says, where are my Jace's Erasures at? I think I'm gonna keep both of these actually. Discard 2 or a land, so we'll pick up a bunch here and we'll bin a land. And maybe we should have kept the green source there actually. I have plenty of islands. So you're telling me I should aggressively use my Moments piece then? That makes sense. Yeah, I was actually talking to Ali today, and he started streaming Magic again too. He was in the Arena Dominaria pre-release thing or whatever the other day. Gush is such a powerful card. There's a lot of like really powerful cards in this format. Yep, there's the main deck Spellbomb that someone just mentioned. You're in mid thought about CCG versus TCG. Oh, so the small amount that I ended up getting when cashing out of Hex kind of like made me reevaluate my stance on CCGs, because there's like, I didn't get a lot of money back out of it, and the amount of effort it took to get that money kind of made me feel like, well, maybe I shouldn't even bother selling this, and I should just work my job. And I kind of felt like I sold out on principle rather than because I like actually was getting a worthwhile amount of money for my stuff. And I was like, well, if it wasn't really worthwhile as a TCG aspect because of that, then maybe I should just like take a second look at the CCGs. Maybe I've been looking at these in the wrong manner, basically. So I aggressively flashed back the Moments piece there because of the Spell Bomb. I'm pretty sure I want to pick up the island here because I want to have double fog up this turn, I think. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's much stronger enablers but weaker payoffs is a really elegant way to put like how the format feels. I'm pretty sure I need to hold this Arcane Denial to fight over my Jace's Erasure when I draw the third one eventually. So these things are fogged for another turn here. They did not bin another Jace's Erasure yet, so God bless. Yep. And then like once I got past the, you know, CCG aspect of Hearthstone, I started playing their constructed, and their constructed format's really enjoyable. The way the combat system works in Hearthstone makes the game extremely interactive. It's arguably more interactive than any Magic format I've played in a long time. I could do that, but I think, like I said, I have enough fogs in my hand at this point that I'm pretty sure I want to use this Arcane Denial as a way to force through my Jace's Erasure so I can eventually actually win the game. We'll just take this hit here, obviously, because it's nowhere near lethal. And now we're on the need to fog them every turn for the rest of the game plan. And I assume they're holding the Spell Bomb from we eventually draw and accumulate knowledge. The biggest thing for me about the Hearthstone is that it's just like a genuinely different game, right? Like Hex and Eternal and a lot of other games are they're very Magic adjacent, right? Like the way their mechanics play out are very similar to Magic, and Hearthstone is just genuinely different. So there's the lack of instance in the game, but if there's one thing I learned while playing a bunch of Pokemon, it's that a lack of instance doesn't mean a lack of interaction. Like Hearthstone has their secret effects that are very interactive, but it also has like every minion you put in the game is interaction, right? Like every minion attacks other minions. So your decks are extremely interactive because they have minions or cards that interact with minions. The time span that you play games out in Hearthstone also makes bad beats feel less bad, I think. And like I said, I've heard other people say things like Hearthstone used to be much worse. I don't have a metric for knowing, yes, Hearthstone used to be worse than it is now, or yes, it used to be better, etc. Like this is my first time playing Hearthstone Constructed was 3 or 4 days ago. How dare they play around Tangle, right? I'm supposed to get a double fog out of this opponent. What's your problem? Ooh, piece of candy, chat. Found a piece of candy. That is what I needed. Alrighty, whenever you draw a card, If target player puts the top card, so when we draw, they mill. So we just gotta staying alive, staying alive, staying alive, staying alive, staying alive. Come at me, bro. Come on, come on, chip it, chip it. All right, tingle you up. All right, don't have another one. I guess I could have played around 2 counterspells here by playing fogs, right? Yeah, my sequence, what I mainly meant, Jeff, was that usually it seemed like since whoever went first was usually had a mana, they're more likely to be able to stay ahead in response to. That's fair. That's fair. I actually think between the coin and how Hearthstone plays out in general, that being on the draw is a lot less bad, at least in the games I've played so far. I've also mostly been playing a tempo deck though, so the fact that I'm playing a tempo deck probably skews my view on it. So like, I just bought a bunch of packs, so we're going to build some non-tempo decks and play them on stream tomorrow. Probably play a little bit of tempo too, because tempo decks are sweet. But would you like to draw 2 cards and mill out faster? Yeah, I could have let on fog. You're right. I didn't think about them having 2 counters. Definitely a mistake on my part. They have Dispel in their main deck. Gross. Well, that's great for us, right? We're just gonna like turbo mill them out of this game, basically. Let's say always yes, always yield. Oh, yeah. Can you taste it, Mr. Krabs? Are you feeling it? Are you feeling it, Mr. Krabs? Yeah, like the coin's really good in Tempo Mage, because I've been playing Tempo Mage. It gets a lot of effects with when it casts spells, and I don't even have to fog them this turn, right? Maybe I should have just played the AK last turn. I assume they're going to spellbomb us in response to this accumulate knowledge. I assume that's what they've been holding this for. They've been holding this spellbomb for a really long time. And they chose not to draw. They understand what this game is about. They understand what this game is. Opponents played this game really well. I mean, burn your face is tempo, generally speaking. Ooh, we found some candy, chat. We found some candy. Found some candy. This deck is sweet. This is great. Are we having fun yet? I'm having fun. All right, so they have 10 cards in their deck. We're burying 2 here. They could have a counterspell. If they have a counterspell, they should probably counter this. Do we lose if they have a counterspell? We might lose if they have a counterspell here. Dang. I guess they decided if they have a counterspell, they'd rather counter a fog, but this is basically like every time we take a draw, it's like a time walk, right? Because we're just like racing the number of cards in their deck at this point. You know what? I think I missequenced, right? I definitely should have cast Accumulate Knowledge and then Brainstorm, because I would have gotten 2 cards deeper into my deck with that sequencing. and then I could have like found another Jace's Erasure or something like that, or more fogs. Yeah, I definitely saw 2 less cards last turn. What are we playing? We're playing some blue-green turbo fog here in Pauper. Winning with Jace's. Ooh, I love candy, chat. Candy is delicious. If you have a counterspell, you have to counter this one. Echoing Truth. Okay. Okay, fair. Fair. That's a good line. That's a very good line. Lucky for me, I drew another Brainstorm here. All right, I think the second Brainstorm is going to lock this up. Opponent has definitely given themselves the best possible chance to win this game. I will say that. They've definitely given themselves the best possible chance to win this game, but they are not about to win it. We are going to win this first game here, it feels like. We haven't gotten to eggs yet. So I'm planning, this is the second match of this league. I'm hoping to do this deck and 2 more tonight. I'm through all of my AKs. We played 2 AKs earlier. I'm ahead on time because I play Magic Online very quickly and I know how to auto-yield the triggers. That's why we're winning, because I know how to auto-yield the triggers. Dispel sounds great here. Is Counterspell good enough here? I don't know that Counterspell is good enough here. I think I just want these Dispels. Jeff is actually Barry Allen. No, they buried an AK with one of their mills. They buried an AK with one of their mills. One of their Thought Scour Mental Note cards. I think I want to cut the Compulsive Researches here. Maybe I can't afford to get behind on tempo from this. Maybe I just want to split these. Counters comparable to Muddle. Yeah, that's fair. We have an Ideas Unbound in our deck. That's so hot. That is so incredible. Oh, so we can Muddle for it. That's great. Barry Allen is the Muggle name of the Flash. What am I supposed to cut, chat? Sideboarding is more than just bringing cards in. You also have to cut cards. I need one more cut as is. So, like, what am I cutting to get these Spreading Seas into my deck? Am I allowed to cross streams there? Muggle name? Is that frowned upon? We're just like mixing genres here. Now I don't think we can cut fogs. I guess if we want to cut anything, Respite's the one we cut. It's probably fine. And I'm gonna run it like this. I'm gonna run it like this. Yeah, I think Jace's Erasure in the opener is like a sign me up type card, right? Yeah, but like their ability to counter our Jace's Erasures and stuff, I definitely want all my Jace's Erasures in my deck. And like having multiple Erasures in play means I can race my opponent effectively. Hopefully they tap out and don't leave up Counterspell this turn. If they leave up Counterspell this turn, I'll play Evolving Wilds. If they tap any mana, we'll go basic Forest Erasure. Well, now that I drew another Erasure, I'm actually just gonna YOLO them. Ding. I don't know what Man of Steel is. We are effectively still memeing, yes. Trigger. Pick my forest back up so I can have an untapped land here. Are we ever not memeing? That's true. That's true. This isn't Meme Nation, the Pauper stream. That was rude, opponent. That was uncalled for. Look at that. Look at that Echoing Truth generating card advantage. What a powerful card. You get that card advantage, opponent. I believe in you. Look at the solid I did them, putting Gurmag Angler in their bin. I bet the opponent doesn't think that badly of us at all. Oh, look at this. We get to set up a Brainstorm with double Erasure here, and then fetch afterwards. What? Say what? All right, I'm gonna put this back. I'm gonna put Arcane. Now, Arcane Denial lets me draw a card. I kind of want all these cards, huh? No, I just want more cards that draw cards at this point. I'm gonna put Respite back. And keep the Dispel. No, I'm gonna ship the Dispel, actually. So annoying, you have to always yes to each individual copy. This is practically a legacy deck. Yeah, kind of. Hi, wife.
Hi.
My wife made dinner, chat.
Why is this over here? It's usually over there. Why do you have these backwards? What are you doing?
So I flipped them because I moved where my webcam is on the overlay, and I'm often looking at OBS. So this way, when I look at OBS, it looks like I'm looking at the game board. It immerses. It's better immersion. So because our opponent's deck doesn't have any traditional reach in it, we want to just use our health total as a resource here. So I'm just going to take this hit. We're not going to start fogging until it's third lethal. We see food. It is from Chipotle Mexican Grill. We were talking about Chipotle on stream earlier. This stream is in no way sponsored or endorsed by Chipotle, but Chipotle, if you're out there, it could be.
We did cooking before. Why were you talking about Chipotle on the stream?
I don't remember. We were talking about the cost of things and like the cost of going out to eat. And someone said you can't go out to eat for $10, and I was like, Chipotle is less than $10 for a person.
I don't know, I spend just as much cooking dinner as I do buying a dinner.
What's my Chipotle order look like? It's white rice, no beans, fajita veggies, corn salsa, extra corn salsa, cheese, extra cheese, guac, extra cheese on top of the guac. Darn opponent playing around Tangle. And again, maybe I'm supposed to Tangle here. Yeah, I'm just gonna Tangle here to use my mana. If it makes it home, it's homemade. Sweet, and I get to Arcane Denial here now. Get to kind of use our resources.
Do you want to say hi to the internet?
I'm right down here.
You say hi?
Down here.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Are there any Decklins over there? There's no Decklins, huh? It's so sad. There's no Declins
We
in
need some
chat.
Google Declins.
He's funny.
So
So
you can be in the frame.
we get to draw 2 cards next turn, which will mill them for 4. Look, Declan, who's that?
The 2. Wait, it's a 2.
Are there Declins?
Shake 2.
There's
Jake 2.
There's
Yeah.
Jake
Who's
2.
the other one?
Take that, take that.
Jake Declan. Jake Declan.
Jake's gone. Jake's gone.
Jake's gone. Who's that one?
Jake is gonna. Oh, I circle too. I circle.
You're a circle.
My head to go circles
Your head is a circle.
like my head right here. I'm talking.
My head right here. I'm talking.
You are.
You are adorable.
All of those things you just said are accurate.
Mommy too.
Hey, Bardic, thank
that
you for the
one?
cupcake bits.
Cupcakes.
Yeah.
Oh, child. Hey, Absolute Flits with the 3-month.
Dima was a red too.
3-month free subscription. Thank you very much and welcome back. I appreciate the continued support.
These cool.
They're cool.
Cool. Okay. Say bye to Daddy. We gotta go back upstairs.
No.
Yeah, Daddy's working.
No.
I love you, tiny child.
No.
Have fun with your mother upstairs.
I'm gonna go down.
We're gonna go play upstairs, okay? We can watch Daddy on the TV.
Yes.
Okay, Mom's gonna put Daddy on the TV. There you go.
Okay, you gotta walk because you're heavy.
No, I'm gonna say that here.
No, dude, we're going up.
Hey, go down here. Hey, man, up
Do
here.
you want me to fix it?
So,
Here's with me and I'll fix it.
I don't think I want to transmute this Muddle. I think I'm just going to pass here. Next turn, we're going to take a non-lethal attack down to 5, and then we'll have to start fogging every turn. It's possible I should just transmute this for Moment's Peace here. You see, Camwell, I have a very strict gym regiment as well, but I go to the gym and spend time there so I can spend more time eating garbage. That's my goal. I go to the gym not to lose weight, but to not gain weight. It's a good system. It's a good system. All right, so this is going to let us draw a bunch of cards later. Just going to go ahead and pass the turn here. It might have been worth it to deny your own Tangle when it got countered and the attack wasn't lethal. That's an interesting line. That's a really interesting line. I probably shouldn't try and eat too much while I'm doing this, because we're kind of running out of... So I can Muddle plus Respite here still. And they only have 1 blue mana up. Why am I not playing the fog effects during their upkeep? I'm not playing the fog effects during their upkeep because I have enough counterspells at this point that I'm okay with using my counterspells, because then I get to use more of my mana more efficiently. In fact, speaking of standing up, I'm actually going to sit down so I can eat a little bit easier here. Enjoy the ride down, chat. Opponent can draw up to 2 cards here. They've been pretty conservative about drawing cards in the first game, so we'll see if they... Moment's Peace is probably the best draw in our deck. Do I want a Compulsive Research here? If I Compulsive Research, I'll have 4 mana left over, which is enough to double. But I probably just can't lose this game if I leave double fog plus Muddle up, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pass here. gonna Moment's Peace kind of aggressively. Those are the same dude, aren't they? They're different artists, though. Man, a Brainstorm's like lethal here, basically, right? This deck's really funny against decks trying to win by attacking with creatures. Could muddle for Ideas Unbound. That's interesting. I think that's too aggressive. We don't have Chipotle in Italy. Yeah, it's just like reasonable quality food. It's generally like fairly fresh ingredients. And like the price of it for like the caliber of the food is very reasonable. It's like nothing to write home about, but like the quality of what you get in ratio to the price that you pay for it is just like decent. I have 1 AK in my bin right now. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I actually should have drawn the AK there. I don't want to preordain yet because I want to be able to Moment's Peace, Respite, and Muddle here. Man, that's rude. He just took my accumulate knowledge, chat, and my Moment's Peace. All right, if they have 2 counterspells, we're actually dead here. They have no counterspells, God bless. You gotta bring snacks with you to work, man. You gotta get that snackage on. All right, so we're gonna draw an AK here. Can we just mill them out? I think we can mill them out, right? They're going to 10 cards. So I have to draw 5 cards this turn, which I think I can do, right? Because this makes me draw 3. Whoa, that's a tilt. I think I have to counter this, right? And we can get there, right? Like AK plus, because we drew the untapped blue source here. AK plus Preordain is lethal. Should I walk across campus and get me? Well, how big's your campus would be my question. Yeah, Brainstorm for the overkill. The old lethal Brainstorm. This deck is great. I'm glad we put this one in the queue, Nivik. Why are you making me click through this, opponent? And this is like what I was talking about, like, I'd watch other people stream and, like, streamers would make their opponent click through this, like, you're deterministically dead, why are you making me click? Oh, I can't yield through end of turn because I have a mana floating, sure. All right, three more decks. Three more decks that trying to kill us by attacking with creatures, please. This mirror must be miserable. The format is listed in the stream title. We are playing Pauper. Yeah, I'm gonna mulligan this. Oh, this is also pretty bad. I guess I keep this with a scry. All right. Island. I think I want both of these, actually. I think we're looking for ways to get to Erasure plus Counterspells against Islands. Yep, looks like Delver. I agree that this matchup is probably not good for us. I'm going to shuffle these. I have a Counterspell already, so I'm basically just looking for Jace's Erasure at this point. Another AK is not the worst. Ninja's going to be a tough card to beat. This is the best deck in Pauper, right? The Scred Delver deck. All right, no Ninja. That's good for us. Yeah, that makes sense, Pinky. Well, it's the best in the sense that it's the most popular, right? I'm gonna go ahead and just Moments Piece this, deny them the card draw. I'm basically trading one for one here. I'm like spending a card to make them not draw a card. You think so? What consensus is that based on? Like what opinion or metrics or data says that the Monarch deck's the best deck in the format? Again, just flashing this back to deny them a card draw here. I've pulled one person. Challenge results. Okay, so there's more there's more Boros decks topping the challenge events than Delver. Well, could use a brainstorm, chat. Our 18. I guess I can just Ideas Unbound here. I guess that's a thing I can do. Just like filter through 3 of these lands. Tilt. I would really like to loot 3 lands away, opponent. Stop it. Probably have another counterspell here. Tilt. All right. I'm just going to play into Tangle next turn. Basically stops them from drawing 2 cards. Brainstorm is excellent since we have this Evolving Wilds in our hand. Why do I read YouTube comments? Yep, that's why there are comments disabled on my channel. Very rarely do you step away from having read YouTube comments and go, my life has been enriched from this experience. Good lord. I should have put basic lands back in my deck there. Maybe. Probably doesn't really matter. Well, I mean, I can shuffle my deck here with this Ponder, I suppose. That is actually what we're looking to draw here. Can this stick, please? Probably not. Their deck is just like 1,200 counterspells, right? But Nivik, I'm practicing on being John Avon. I'll never be as good as John Avon if I stop practicing drawing lands. Send a message. Get in there with the spray. You're in Twitch chat, everybody's an expert. Hallelujah, ain't that the truth? So we know they have a Sprite in their hand. I assume they have 6 other counterspells to go with it. I'm pretty sure we just can't win this game from here. They're just like gonna Sprite our win condition and we'll get run out of the game. Dispel sounds great. This is probably a counterspell matchup. This is probably a matchup where I want slightly less fogs in my deck overall, right? What if I just like cut these 4 fogs? Ideas Unbound seems kind of bad. Don't want to change anything else here. Maybe all 6 counterspells is too many. Just bring in 5. Let's give this a go, see how it feels. So I'm actually going to Preordain on 1 here. Whenever someone feels the need to tout themselves as a format specialist, the only thing I hear like echoing in the back of my head when someone says that is that I'm actually not good at Magic, but I've played this one deck in this one format enough times that I've got enough repetitions in with it that I can be kind of okay with this deck in this format because I've seen every possible play pattern that this deck can generate against other decks in the format. And whether or not that's true and people are actually format specialists, that's where my head goes though, because like, you know, basically what you're saying is like saying you're a format specialist versus just like being reasonable at Magic. It's just like, well, you don't think the skills you've learned playing this deck translate to Magic in general. I'm a format specialist on casual tiny leaders. Ask me anything. God bless. God bless. I think I'm just gonna compulsive research here. Well, that's poop. We didn't hit a land. That's awkward. I guess I'm just gonna bin this AK because it'll just cycle anyways, and I'll bin this third one of these. And that's fine, Bionic Broccoli. Building bad decks is sweet. It's okay. There's more to Magic than just winning. Judge Tower, no skills transfer. Yeah, but like in general, Shold, I think if you just like, if you're like a decent Magic player and like you've played enough Magic to like really actually have like this really deep grasp of the depth of a particular format, I think the skills you've gained from playing that Magic in general should translate to other parts of the format, basically. So someone asked a second ago about Dispel versus the extra Counterspell. I actually really like Dispel because Dispel allows us to counter Pyroblast, which are likely bringing in out of the board. I think we're gonna float to and cast this Gush here. Because I don't actually have a 4th land right now, this allows me to actually replay one of these lands. So I can play this Jace's Erasure with 2 mana up. I guess we're still gonna get sprited here though, right? Hopefully this is a non-sprite counterspell. Dang. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and play my Muddle here. They don't have a red source yet. Like, I think the thing that I found the most silly is when they announced that the Team Pro Tour was going to have a legacy, like, we have the legacy the Legacy Modern Standard Team Pro Tour coming up for M25 or whatever set that the Team Pro Tour is going with, the one after Dominaria, is people are like, oh, I'd rather have a Legacy specialist on my team than someone like Luis Scott Vargas or PV. And I was just like, you're so silly if you think someone that's just like played a bunch of Legacy is going to play much better or even better at all compared to someone like Luis Scott Vargas or PV that just like plays Magic constantly. Yeah, right? Like, you're telling me you're going to take the guy at your LGS that's been playing the same Legacy deck for a decade over Luis Scott Vargas playing Grixis Delver? Like, don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. And like, honestly, I think if you're someone that like plays enough Modern, those skills most of those skills translate to Standard. The difference is being good at a format does require some familiarity with it. So like, you're just not familiar with Standard. It's not that you'd be bad at Standard, it's just that you haven't, if you're a reasonable Magic player, you just haven't put in the work to allow yourself to be good at Standard, basically. All right, if they have the Thornwood Falls is actually really good here because it's going to let us survive a hit inside of combat here. So this way, if they counter this Tangle, we get to live for a turn, which is great. Why are you making me do this, Magic Online? Please target my opponent with my triggers. I'm a vintage specialist. Ask me something. I've got a shirt that says I'm a trained professional, just not at this. Just like this is the most apt thing. I'm very good at what I do. Just, you know, I don't do this. What a beating. Vapor Snag, the Spell Stutter Sprite, Spell Stutter Sprite you. God damn. Yep. All right. I'm a special specialist. My specialty is specially specifying other special specialists. Well then. Well. Haha, you didn't play around my Tangle opponent. Stop it. No. And this AK is going to draw 2 cards, right? Because I have one in the bin already. They're down. Oh, that's another AK. Are they dead? They're getting pretty close to dead, right? Because this draws. These are not untapping. Is Gush Brainstorm lethal? I think Gush Brainstorm is lethal. I feel like we kind of stole this game. Man, when this deck gets going, it gets go. Wait, this is actually... I should count and make sure this is lethal before I tap out. No, these aren't untapping, so yeah, I should just go. Giddy up. This is 12. Oh, yeah, this is... not 12. 12 is wrong. This is... I think I'm 1 short here, right? Because this is 6, and Brainstorm is 6, and Gush is... But they can't... They're not untapping, so... You know... Yeah. Alrighty. No, this is game 2. We lost game 1. Math is for non-closers. Just assume you're gonna close, Hogland. Get him. Get him. I'm a Khans of Tarkir mono red specialist. I cast Sarkhan the Dragon's Peak. I did have a land drop still. So we could have brainstormed into something else. Possibly closed it out still. Another cantrip, brainstorm into a cantrip to close it out. I think I'm happy with how I boarded here. I think I like boarding out just the regular fogs and bringing in some counterspells. Seems good. Hopefully this Erasure can get down turn 2. Very miscreant. Rude. I don't know what I'm looking for with this Ponder yet, so I'm just going to play this tap land and pass. Sweet. That means this should resolve. Rats. I got excited. I thought they were going to miss a land drop, maybe. It looked like they... I should have checked their graveyard. I think it looked like they didn't have red spells in their deck last game. Not 100% on that, though. We've got the Brainstorm Evolving Wilds here to clear it, too, which is just A+. Yeah, Erasure here is very, very good. Alright, so... Am I just throwing back the muddles here? I think I am. I'm just going like muddle back, muddle back. Ain't no muddle back now. Ain't no muddle back now. I should crack this fetch first. And grab another island here since I have 2 counterspells in my hand. You had a Sprite and you chose... I guess they just didn't know we had a fetch land, so they assumed the Sprite wasn't going to be very good. I guess that makes sense. We be delving now. My lovely fetch land humps. Check it out. Beep 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 doo. Jace's Erasure was a most excellent draw there, chat. Ip cheerio, mate. Counter your counter. Yeah, can turn. I want to turn off my auto yields, that way next time these triggers we can get them. Oh, baby. I think we're cooking with gas, chat. I'm thinking, I'm just saying there's a chance. I'm not saying that we're a lock here, but I'm saying that we have a chance. I would like the record to reflect that we have a chance. We could draw some bricks here, but our deck has a lot of action in it, and I'm hoping against all hope. That's a very miscreant that drew a card. Yep. Down to 9. Ooh, Ponder. I like Ponder. Always yes, always yes, always yield. Cast my Ponder. That's another Jace's Erasure. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're dead. If I take the Jace's Erasure and play it out, we're dead to... I guess I kind of need to shuffle this, huh? I really need more fogs. I think I have to shuffle this. I'm pretty sure the conservative play is to shuffle that. It could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to shuffle that. I don't think they had red cards in their deck last game for game 2. Maybe I should have done the math on how quickly a third one mills them out. Return the bounce land to send a message. Get out of here. They had a mountain in their deck game 1. They had Scred. They're playing the Scred deck. I think I'm just going to take this hit. I think I only want to fog lethal attacks or attacks that involve a ninja. If they go like red Source Bolt me, like, you know, que sera, sera. Alright, so they didn't preordain that they just drew, which implies they have at least one counterspell. Accidentally turned off my auto yields again. This was one of my mother's favorite songs growing up. Oh, do we fog? Yeah, that's true, because Ninja can pick up Sprite. It's a good point. Is this about to resolve? Sweet. All right, so we get another turn here. Like some cantrips, please. All right, we are gonna flood out and die, chat. I'm gonna hold one land here. Holding two is probably wrong. Turbo frog, nope, no frogs here, unfortunately. Alright, we need a live one next turn. Moment of silence. I'm not dead yet! I'm not dead yet! Alright, come on, give me a cantrip. Give me cantrips into fogs. Survey says. Yep. That's a little bit late. Aw, man. Good games, opponent. Good games. A little bit of a sad in there. We flooded a little bit there, but we also saw a lot of cards out of our decks too, so... geez, that would have been so good. We would have seen so many cards. We're so close. We're so close. Thank you. Thank you to everybody who's hanging out here tonight while we narrowly miss here. We're 1-2 in this league with our fog decks. We got a couple more matches before we're done with this one. We're hanging out playing some Pauper all day today. If you're enjoying my content, please make sure you hit the follow button at the very least. If you're really enjoying my content, you want to help me make more of this content, please consider subscribing on Twitch. My subscribers are the reason I'm able to do what I do as often as I do it. You can also support my stuff by supporting my sponsors. MTGOtraders.com would love to buy and sell some Magic Online cards with you. And if you use code Hoagland PayPal at checkout with them, you'll save 8% on your singles orders there. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles using promo code Jeff5. You can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, and bags there. Cardsphere.com would love to help you turn your Magic cards into other Magic cards or cash directly with other players. There's no haggling. They just take a 1% fee right off the top. And finally, this stream is made possible by viewers like Anaronix, Justin, Nivik, and you. They'd like to remind you again to hit that follow button. If you can't catch all of the action live, I stream 30, sometimes 40 hours a week. Be sure to check out my YouTube channel as well, youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland. 100% of my streams get archived there, so you can watch just the stuff that you care about when I break it up by deck and by format. This seems pretty good. It's got an Erasure, it's got a Fog, it's got some draw on it, it's got a Counterspell. It's basically a good mix here. If we're really lucky, we'll draw an untapped land next turn, but not drawing an untapped land wouldn't be the end of the world. Just go Growth Chamber, pick my Thornwood Falls back up. How long has this league been going? We have played 3 matches in 1 hour and 9 minutes. Blue Island Ponder, please untapped land. Please untapped land. Please untapped land. Please untapped land. Chocolate sounds great. We've not played the eggs deck yet. I bumped this one up in front of eggs for Nivik. I'm actually just gonna Growth Chamber and not quite Brainstorm yet. Like, Brainstorm in conjunction with Erasure mills them more cards, and like I'm not really quite sure what I'm brainstorming into. Like, it could be Delver, they could be Tribe, they could be a control deck, they could be a lot of things right now. Could likely Delver, could still be Tribe. Wouldn't mind if it's Delver. They are Tribe. Tribe's got to be a great matchup for us, right? This matchup just has to be insane. Like, every one of our fogs just, like, stops them cold. This matchup is 10-0. They do have some disruption, but like if they go off and they don't have enough disruption, they just lose the game on the spot. Yeah, I agree, MG. That's one of the reasons why I really want to give Brawl a try, because there's a lot of space there to work on things that like normally wouldn't get worked on, basically. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and Compulsive Research here. Like, no need to hold a fog up this turn, might as well draw two. I'm gonna bin an Evolving Wilds here. Stack these triggers very tediously. Then I think I'm gonna go ahead and Ponder here, looking for another Jace's Erasure, basically. I'm gonna shuffle these. They're not Erasure or Fogs, which I think are the two things we're looking for at this point. What deck is up next? We're gonna play Red-White Monarch after this deck, and then we're gonna play Eggs after that. Maybe Magic isn't. That's true. I mean, it really is. Like, Magic is an expensive luxury hobby. Like, it costs money, and Brawl's probably cheaper than a lot of formats, right? If you do find Magic too expensive, you should check out Epic Card Game. It's got sweet card game interaction and isn't quite as expensive as Magic because it's a living card game. Okay, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and Brainstorm here. I'm gonna Brainstorm. Now I'm gonna Preordain, actually. I think I want to try and save this Brainstorm for when I have a second Erasure out. It's not a particularly popular business model. The living card game model. Yeah, thankfully there's enough stuff in Modern Ralk that like Legacy's pretty stale, right? Like, Legacy doesn't change much, but like Modern there's enough things in it that we play genuinely different things a lot of the time that are still reasonable. In Legacy, a lot of the weird things that we play are just like pretty terrible. Circular Logic. What if I Arcane Denial you? Yeah, Netrunner's another living card game. Alright, that's a Gush. Yeah, I mean, I just want all these fogs, right? I kind of don't even really want to shuffle, do I? I don't think so. I guess I can't actually cast the Gush, huh? I don't have two islands. Oh, I guess the Evolving Wilds gets me another island, so maybe the Gush is fine to keep. I don't know. Our hand's pretty stacked here, right? define. So what a living card game is, for those that are unfamiliar with the term, a living card game is one where they keep releasing sets for it, so it changes. But the difference between a living card game and a trading card game is a living card game, you know what you're buying. So for example, my wife and I are planning to play some Epic at Gen Con this summer, so we bought physical cards. I've been playing their digital app. And to buy complete play sets of the first 3 sets that Epic had, it cost me $130. So you pay for the cards and they send you packs that contain guaranteed cards in them. And because Epic is a living card game and doesn't use booster packs, they're limited for Epic is basically how you would draft a cube. Now, Arcane Denial is great. We just want to slow our opponent down. We just want to make our opponent go slower. We just want to delay whatever they're doing. And them drawing cards is good for us. Remember, we're a mill deck, chat. So Jace's Erasure. Have we milled their plane? Do they have another planes in their deck? I wonder if there's a second planes in their deck. Dominion is great. I think Dominion's a very excellent game. Epic, I enjoy Epic a lot, and this is probably gonna sound weird, but I actually think the one of the things that'll hold Epic back from ever being too popular is I think Epic probably has too little variance in it. It is a very heavily skill-based game, the way the resource systems are worked and the cards are designed. People do really like gambling, you're not wrong. And people like variance in them. Variance in their games. I don't think I want actual factual counterspell in this matchup. This is probably a little slow too. Let's give this a try. We won game 1, Nivik. We're up a game against Tireless Tribe. No, master sets don't make cards modern legal. TLDR. Master sets don't make cards modern legal. I mean, that's true to a degree, Baza, but like the trading cards are the most popular card games probably for a reason. I just really don't have time to get involved in another like small time card game, basically. Like, the upside to checking out Hearthstone is that it's, in addition to enjoying it, I can potentially make content and make money off that content off of it too. So like I can spend some of my hobby time doing other things or like working towards something with it, basically. So if I play, do they play actual factual counterspell out of their board? Christus, 1 year, and I'm ready to slay some nerds. Enjoy your sword, Christus. Thank you for the year support. We lost a close game 3 to Ninja Delver. Do I just jam Erasure here? I don't think I do. I'm pretty sure I just wait. In case they have negate or something like that. I think if I didn't have the 3rd land Dispel in hand, I would probably jam the Erasure there, but because I have the guaranteed land and a way to protect my thing, I think it's worth waiting here. They got a Ponder. The classic pay 4 mana for a Ponder. Yes, opponent, that resolves. Both of these cards sound great, right? I'm definitely in the market for Fogs, and I'm certainly in the market for cantrips to allow my Jace's Erasure to win the game faster. Do I subscribe to any other streamers? For Magic content, I often give my Twitch Prime sub to Shamgar, Holy Shamgar. He streams a lot of Modern. And since I started playing some Hearthstone, I've been watching a lot of Kibler, so I gave him my Twitch Prime for the month. Kibler's a very good content producer. There's a reason why he's been successful in Hearthstone. Kibler has been sponsored by Wizards of the Coast. In fact, it was funny. The other day while he was streaming, someone asked him about Magic Arena, and he goes, he said he hadn't touched a Magic card in 2 years until they sponsored him to play Magic Arena. Kibler stopped playing Magic because I assume he started making ungodly amounts of money making Hearthstone content. And that was satisfying his gaming itch while also being a job for him. Like, I'd assume Kibler has a couple thousand, if not more, subscribers plus ad revenue and YouTube money and all sorts of stuff. I have no idea. I don't recall him mentioning that, but I also just like I do what a lot of you do, right? Like I watch Kibler while I'm doing other work during the day. And those are all cards that I'm interested in on top of my deck. Speaking as someone who has played an unholy number of Magic events in his life, and for context for people that are just newer to my content or me personally, between 2014 and 2016, I played almost 100 weekends of sanctioned Magic, so a little over 30 weekends a year for 3 years. Trying to make money just playing in Magic tournaments is really, really difficult and frustrating at times. I fell asleep and woke up hoping we'd 0-3 all the matches and we're almost done. I think you'd like this deck, Justin. This is the deck Nivik wanted us to play. It's actually really sweet. I have no intentions of streaming Hearthstone full time. I might add 1 day a week if it looks like there's some demand for it. But I have no intentions of stopping streaming Magic. The Magic community has been very good for me, and this is my job. You know, this is literally paying bills now at this point. It's kind of wild. All right, so I think I'm gonna ponder here. And then I have Tangle plus Fog plus Dispel, so they need 2 counters to beat me. Yeah, and honestly, I just like want more stuff, right? It's like all of these sound great. Like I've got plenty of lands. Like the fact that these like growth chambers are 2 land drops is so great. Have you seen Crypt? Poor guy. I mean, burnout's a real thing, right? And like Hearthstone doesn't seem like it has a lot of support for their wild non-rotating format. So like if you're only playing their standard format for, 30 hours a week, it might get a little bit dry. But yeah, I tried watching Crypt the other night and he really didn't seem like he was enjoying the game he was playing. So I ended up turning him off. We don't actually die to Giga Drowse because if they Giga Drowse us, we just fog in response. Oh, you're saying Giga Drowse at my end of turn. Giga Drowse at my end of turn is interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to, like I said, I'm going to give it a try. We're going to stream a little bit of Hearthstone tomorrow night, I think. I think I'm going to crack the packs that I bought on stream because people like watching people crack packs for whatever reason. Do I want to dispel this? I'm going to dispel this. I feel like they're just trying to get set up here. And like I have Tangle plus Moment. I have Tangle plus Fog here. So I think countering their draw here is fine. If Wizards paid me, would I play Arena? Sure. If the dollars are right, we'll do anything for enough dollars. The spy meme was actually kind of complicated. I punted a few games. We won one entire match. I think we probably would have won two if I would have played a little bit better. But I kept watching because I donated for the deck. Yep. Are we going to try and kill me? To be fair, Wizards of the Coast doesn't need to like me. I just need them to not ban me from playing their game. Is that a bad attitude to have? They don't have to like me. I just need to not be obnoxious enough to get banned from playing. All right, that's another Erasure. I have to put 2 cards on top of my deck here. I can actually use Erasure to clear my Brainstorm, right? Erasure is our win condition. It's unfortunate that I don't have a 3rd green source that's untapped this turn. Because if they have 2 pieces of interaction, they can kill me here. I think I'm going to put AK and Island back on top of my deck. And then I'm going to bury the top 2 cards of my deck here. So I'm going to have 2 of these target me and then 1 target my opponent. Yeah, I try not to be rude or vulgar when I give feedback. It's very easy to slip into that pattern, so I try to genuinely be firm but constructive. But my opponent it's literally madness. Their opponent literally, what you're watching is literally madness. All right, so this second Erasure sticking will hopefully give us, I guess they could potentially circular logic this second Erasure. Because we're actually losing this race here. Just like getting beat down for like 2 and 3 a turn as opposed to getting comboed is a real thing that could happen to us. They tapped out, so I get to stick this. Ooh, that's good. That's good. That's a berry 6. Lovely Grizzle Humps. Thanks, Nerdster. I appreciate that. Come on, opponent. My large rear end has been sitting for almost an hour. I'll sit for another little bit here before we stand up. So we have triple fog up this turn. We also might just brainstorm at their end step because Jace's Erasure clears it. Probably not. you have any non-TCG games that you play on the PC in the spare time? The last non-card game video game that I played on the computer was I was gonna say Skyrim, but I've actually played a little bit of Overwatch, because Overwatch is Blizzard's really good at making video games. If you've never played a Blizzard game, Blizzard is exceptionally good at making video games, chat. So I've played some Overwatch. I find that game a lot of fun. I played a bunch of Skyrim. I've played what else? Played a bunch of Skyrim. I've played I'm blanking on it. My wife and I played some Borderlands 2 very recently. Christy loves Diablo 3. All right, so the last 3 cards have to be triple interaction here. What character do I play in Overwatch? Make it rain, alcohol. With $25 donation. This is for the Just Kai Save Your Vigilance decks I messaged you about. Keep up the good work. I love the streams. Thank you for the donation. And we'll get that deck added to the queue here. I play... usually I play... what's it called? Pharah, or I play Soldier 76. And occasionally Mercy's the flying angel, right? Does probably have a third piece of interaction here. Yeah. Yep, we're dead. We were able to get set up there, unfortunately. Am I supposed to have Counterspell in my deck? I feel like I probably can't tap out for Compulsive Research, so maybe Counterspell is supposed to be in my deck. It's probably not unreasonable. I'm gonna trim a Muddle. I like that Counterspell can tag their tireless whatever. Why would you think I'd like Turbo Fog? Because I've seen the other decks you submit, Justin. Because I've seen the other decks you submit. All right, let's stand up, get some blood flowing. Oh. Pull the standy mat out. If any of you out there get a standing desk yourselves, I would highly recommend getting a mat to stand on. Makes it far more comfortable. Jace's Erasure is how we win. This card right here. It is sad that that is a forest and not an island, because I would love to keep that hand otherwise. Yep, keeping this one. Top. I'm actually not going to fetch here. I'm just going to draw that island and then for the turn. Is it an Ergo mat? I'm not sure what it's called. It came with the company that sold me my desk. God, the art on these lands in these most recent sets is just so fantastic. It's really, truly excellent. Pretty sure I just want to ship these here, like looking at some land drops. We could get turn 2 here. My hand is aggressively mediocre, opponent. All right. Sorry, turn 2. Turn 3 me. Oh, we could have Brainstorm and Crack the Wilds. You're right. I think a lot of the art on some of the older Magic cards is really atrocious. Like, people talk about, like, the original Force of Will, like, they love it, and it's the most amazing thing in the world, but, like, I think it's really pretty rancid. I think that's a really and art is super subjective. So if you like the OG Force of Will, more power to you, but I do not think it's a particularly great piece of art. All right, this deck, was kind of fun, but does not seem particularly good. It feels like this format is super blue based, right? Like we've got Ponder, Preordain, Brainstorm here for a reason. So many of the decks that you want to be fogging out of the game, they just get to counterspell you, which feels pretty bad. So I want to shy away from like giving too much feedback, because like I am by no means a Pauper expert. I'm like feeling the format out myself, but my takeaway is that the decks that I would expect this to be good against in like traditional style formats, it's generally not going to be amazing against, because they have counterspells in this format. All right, let's play some red-white Monarch, shall we? Let's play some Boros Monarch. Grab some cards from traders here. Thanks everyone for hanging out. I appreciate it. There's a lot of different things you